absolutely. Super happy for him and for the church. Like, New Birth really needs a first lady.
Yes.
That's important. And we need New Birth to be happy with Jamal because he has a lot of tuition to pay. All of my girls will be in college.
Right.
So.
Y'all, Jamal Bryant stayed quiet for a long time when it came to her ex-husband Jamal Bryant and his new wife Karri Turner Bryant. But now she's finally speaking out, and the story she's telling? It's messy. When Jamal and Karri first went public with their relationship, people were already raising eyebrows. Between Jamal's long history of cheating rumors and Karri making moves that had folks questioning whether she really understands the responsibilities that come with being a first lady, the internet had one big question. How did this marriage actually start? And is it even real? Well, according to Jamal, Karri didn't just randomly show up in Jamal's life. Allegedly, she entered the picture right in the middle of Jamal's marriage. And if Jamal's version of events is true, the way everything unfolded left her feeling completely betrayed. She claims both Jamal and Karri handled the situation in a way that did her dirty, and now the details behind what really happened are finally starting to come out.
I can't tell you how happy I am, how happy my family is, how happy my children are, and I hope my church is happy for me.
On November 15, 2024, Jamal Bryant revealed that he had tied the knot once again. This time, his new wife was Karri Turner, a faith-based author, speaker, and minister who was also serving at his church, New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia. But before the couple officially shared the news with the world, people within the church community had already been talking. Word around New Birth was that Jamal and Karri had been seeing each other quietly for quite some time. And for many, it wasn't exactly a surprise when the marriage announcement finally dropped that in fact, their relationship had already started catching attention after the two were spotted together at an ice cream shop in Florida. Once that sighting got around, the gossip mill went into overdrive. From that moment on, people began speculating about what was really going on between them. Karri ended up facing a lot of criticism online, with some people questioning her choices and throwing harsh labels her way, none of which reflected the grace people expect within a church setting. For a moment, it even seemed like the backlash might shut everything down before the relationship had a chance to fully develop. However, Jamal and Karri quickly addressed the rumors and brushed off the speculation. According to them, the meetup was simply a professional outing and nothing more. But as the whispers continued to circulate, many people remained unconvinced that the story was quite that simple.
When we got to the ice cream parlor, I was not there because I was kicking it with him. I was there because we were solidifying my doctoral program. That was the reason why I was in Florida at the time. His cohort was there. I came down the last day so that I was able to finalize everything with getting my cohort off the ground, which he was so instrumental in.
But strangely enough, that whole situation actually pushed Jamal and Karri closer together. Instead of pulling apart, they reportedly started seeing each other privately. According to insiders, there were a few things they both needed to figure out first before making any serious commitment or going public with their relationship. Once they finally tied the knot, though, you already know they wasted no time trying to shut down all the rumors surrounding their relationship. They quickly went into damage control mode, working to clear up the speculation that had been following them from the beginning. If you ask Karri how she and Jamal ended up together, she paints a very different picture from what the gossip suggests. In her version of events, their love story is nothing short of a God-ordained fairy tale. She says the two first crossed paths after she started working at his church, and from there their connection slowly developed. Karri also explained that, for the most part, their interactions stayed brief and strictly professional. Since it was her first time working at a megachurch, she was extremely mindful of how things could look to others. According to her, she didn't want to be involved in anything that might make people think she earned her position in a way that could damage her integrity or reputation. Still, despite those explanations, plenty of people remain skeptical, and that's where Jamal's version of the story starts to stir up even more questions.
And so people were like, oh, they've been dating since 2017. I didn't know this man in 2017. I knew of him, but I didn't know him.
But that's exactly the part Jamal Bryant reportedly finds hard to believe. According to her, Karri Turner Bryant was already around long before the public ever knew about the relationship. Even during the time when Jamal and Jamal Bryant were trying to give their marriage another chance. For context, Jamal and Jamal were married from 2002 to 2009, and during that time they welcomed 3 daughters together. But when the marriage eventually ended, Jamal openly admitted that she simply couldn't stay anymore because the cheating had become too much to handle. By that point, Jamal was already serving as a pastor, but according to Jamal, that didn't stop the rumors or the behavior. She claimed he constantly had different women around, despite knowing he had a wife and family waiting at home. There were even allegations floating around that Jamal fathered a child outside of the marriage and quietly paid the child's mother to keep the situation from becoming public. Whether those claims were ever fully proven or not, the rumors alone created a huge strain on their relationship. Things reportedly became so overwhelming for Jamal that, after discovering the alleged love child, she struggled deeply with the emotional toll the situation took on her. The betrayal and constant drama pushed their marriage past the breaking point. Despite everything, though, the two eventually managed to maintain a friendship for the sake of their children. Over time, they focused on co-parenting and stayed in contact, seeing each other occasionally, and being around each other again slowly opened the door for something unexpected. A possible reconciliation. At one point, Jamal even went public saying that she and Jamal were giving their relationship another try. This time, she explained, they were taking things slow and carefully seeing where things might lead. She spoke positively about the direction they were heading, and seemed open to exploring what a second chance could look like. Jamal also made it clear that she was trying to leave the past behind. She said she enjoyed spending time together as a family again, and didn't want to hold Jamal's past mistakes over him forever. Instead, she hoped they could both grow from everything they had gone through. In fact, she sounded genuinely hopeful. She believed they had both gained wisdom from their past struggles, and were determined not to repeat the same mistakes that had torn them apart the first time. At that moment, she truly seemed confident that this new chapter could lead somewhere different. But as the story continues to unfold, that optimism wouldn't last forever.
I think I've seen so much maturity in him. He has an overwhelming sense of humility and humbleness. I think that we communicate so much better now. I mean, our communication is on point.
Not long after Jamal Bryant publicly shared that she and Jamal Bryant were giving their relationship another try, she suddenly came back with a very different update. According to Jamal, the reconciliation simply wasn't going anywhere. Her explanation was that distance had become the biggest issue. With Jamal living in Potomac and Jamal based in Atlanta, they weren't able to spend as much time together as they wanted. Eventually, she said, they both realized the long-distance situation just wasn't working, and they decided to call it quits. Now, a lot of people couldn't help but raise an eyebrow at that explanation. After all, this was a couple who had already been married for years and shared 3 children together. So the idea that distance alone ended things left some folks wondering if there was more to the story. Still, Jamal stuck to that version of events. She maintained that the relationship simply wasn't meant to work out, and said they would continue being friends while focusing on co-parenting their daughters. But things seemed to shift once Jamal and Karri Turner Bryant later announced their engagement. That's when people started noticing little comments and subtle shade coming from Jamal. At first, they were just small jabs here and there, nothing too direct. However, everything changed when she was finally asked outright what she thought about Karri. She could have easily kept things polite and avoided the drama altogether. But instead, Jamal leaned right into the moment. She admitted that she had actually met Karri before, and then made it very clear that, in her opinion, Karri was completely out of her league. And just like that, the situation went from quiet tension to full-blown side-eye across the internet.
I've seen her in person, I've met her.
Okay.
Not in my league.
Of course, Karri Turner Bryant wasn't exactly happy about her husband's ex-wife speaking on her like that. She quickly fired back with a message that many people saw as a direct response to Jamal Bryant. Karri wrote, "Put me at the table where women support other women. Being a mean girl ages you, honey. And who has time for that when you can be living, loving, and aging gracefully? But Giselle didn't walk anything back. She stood firmly by what she said and made it clear she wasn't changing her stance. Not now, not later, not any day of the week. Meanwhile, people online couldn't help but point out something else that added fuel to the conversation. Just how much Karri and Giselle resemble each other. The comparisons started popping up everywhere. Some folks joked that Jamal Bryant clearly has a type, while others wondered if there might be something a little more interesting going on behind the scenes. And the similarities didn't stop at appearances. Both women are also members of the same sorority, which had people saying it almost felt like Karri studied the playbook down to the smallest detail. According to Giselle, though the internet wasn't completely off with those observations. In fact, the timing of everything brought back another moment people haven't forgotten. Do y'all remember when Monique showed up with that famous binder full of receipts right after Giselle started opening up about her relationship with Jamal Bryant? Because that moment had everyone wondering what tea was about to spill next.
I mean, Jamal and I have been through a lot. You know, there's a lot that people say, and we're.
But when y'all were
understand it.
announcing that y'all got back together, he told his girlfriend at the time that it was just reality TV and it wasn't true.
Thanks.
How do you know that? How do you know?
Because the lady who he's been dating for years,
she's been waiting to drop these receipts for a while.
She's a pastor, and she reached out to me a long time ago. She sent a bunch of screenshots, pictures of him in her bed and everything else. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going there. I don't play dirty. But
sounds like
since
rumors.
Giselle likes to play dirty,
like rumors, right?
I'll go ahead and return since I'm here right now. But he's definitely been talking to another woman, and it's clear conversations. And if you like to see him, I got him in my little receipt book right.
During that moment, Monique brought up a lot of information that Giselle Bryant probably would have preferred stayed private. According to Monique, Jamal Bryant had promised Giselle he was fully committed while they were trying to rebuild their relationship. But behind the scenes, things allegedly weren't as faithful as they seemed. Monique explained that she didn't even have to go digging for the truth. She claimed the woman Jamal had been involved with actually reached out to her directly, sharing her side of the story and exposing what had supposedly been going on. According to that woman, she and Jamal had continued seeing each other even while he was attempting to rekindle things with Giselle. To back up her claims, she reportedly sent screenshots of text messages between her and Jamal, suggesting their relationship hadn't stopped at all. While all of this was being discussed, Giselle reportedly sat there quietly, taking in the accusations without much reaction. She kept her composure, but the moment left many viewers wondering just how much of the story she had already known, and how much was being revealed in real time.
She said, for me, it's not a good
whatever.
idea to travel to Atlanta if you're working on putting your family back together again. He says, what are you talking about? She says, what am I talking about? And she screenshots the actual article.
Are we really listening to this? This is the
Husband
same
Jamal
person
Bryant
who tried to
back
run and
together
cry
rumors.
wolf to Bravo
He said,
because somebody was spreading
rumors.
true about her
What
family.
are you talking about?
Can we not?
It's
Can we
not real. It's reality.
No, it's not.
According to Giselle Bryant, she actually already knew about the other woman. Jamal Bryant had apparently told her everything. So whatever Monique was trying to spill at the reunion, it wasn't shocking to Giselle at all. The woman Monique brought up during the reunion was allegedly Karri Turner Bryant. Word on the street is that Karri had been in Jamal's life for quite some time. Even during the period when Giselle and Jamal were attempting to repair their marriage that as mentioned earlier, their relationship had pretty much become an open secret within the New Birth Missionary Baptist Church community. And from what Giselle shared, Karri was always quick to handle any woman at the church who she saw as a potential threat to her connection with Jamal, making sure nothing got in the way of her pursuit. This all paints a picture that, according to Giselle, things weren't just casual rumors. There was a long, complicated history behind how Jamal and Karri ended up together.
Afraid to let her go because she gonna blow the shit up the same way she blew the last pastor up in Texas.
Y'all, sources are saying that Jamal Bryant wasn't actually the first pastor that Karri Turner Bryant tried to get with. And once she locked in on Jamal, well, apparently nothing, not even Giselle, was going to stand in her way. So, all that chatter about Karri supposedly trying to mirror Giselle to keep Jamal's attention? According to the T, it might actually hold some truth. The internet definitely had opinions. Some people argued that Karri deliberately tries to resemble Giselle. Similar look, body type, even the same sorority, while Giselle, on the other hand, is aging gracefully without all the makeup or fillers. In other words, Jamal may have found someone who's physically as close to Giselle as possible. But what do you think about all this? Is it just coincidence, or is there something more to the story? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more tea. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye, Bulletin Celebrity.